So today is Choose Women Day. So again, the day seeks to appreciate, support, listening to, and stand up for women. It also attempts to create awareness about the many working women for and successfully running businesses in a world that still think a woman place is at home. I don't know, like I was saying, I don't know where in the world they still believe that, but they are part of the world that they still believe that, I believe. But not really in the West areas. It's more, you would find that more in areas that are not westernized, that they will think like that. But yeah, just like you said, your cat place is at home. A woman's is not at home. It depends. It depends, and different cultures do things differently. Male narcissism think it's like that. Yeah. Well, so what if a woman choose to be at home then? What about that? What if what if she choose to be at home? To say that her place is at home is like, then what is she gonna do? Um, what is she gonna do at home? Because it's not like, what if she doesn't have kids? Or there are some cultures who say, okay, a woman should be at home to take care of the kids, but if she doesn't have kids, to to take care of or something like that. But still, everyone have their own way of doing or going about doing things. So that's what it is at the end of the day. If the if the couple or the people, if two, if they choose to do things like that, the woman stays at home or whatever, then she can choose. But exactly, it is her choice to make. And so what if the woman choose that she wants to be at home, but due to financial constraints that her man cannot afford it or they cannot afford it, then what? She probably have to be she have to go and make that money too, right? Um, yeah, I don't get it though. I don't get it why they would. I do get to some reason why, because like just like you just say, it's because of male narcissistic ways of going about seeing the world. But it's women should be allowed to give given the choices to do what they to be where they want to be. The day is celebrated in hopes of countering this old notion, and instead of making people realize the potential and power of woman holds. That is true. That is true. There's the power that they hold is it's different, although it's different in some ways, because we all have our things that we are more inclined to, or that we are better. We just like, it's normal, we have our strong points, we have our points for growth, or points for a gap, for fill ins. But women have a lot of potentials, and yeah, and a lot of power as well. A lot of power, to be honest. And any man who's gonna say, yeah, it's not true, but they don't know what they're talking about. They don't. They still need to. They are being self-delusional, to be honest. Today educates both customers and businesses on making the right choices and uplifting female entrepreneurship and promoting women-owned business owners. Okay, true that. Um, true that. Okay, so let's see what else is in this. What else is in this? Um, okay. Choose Women Wednesday is international platform established in 2014 by Women's Entrepreneurship Day organization, a non-governmental movement that seeks to empower, celebrate, and support women and businesses to reduce poverty around the world. I think in some countries, women have owned most businesses, to be honest. Women are very entrepreneurial, if for people who don't know. It takes place on Wednesday, after Thanksgiving, as a creation. Creation was inspired by holiday votes Not important, to be honest. Not important at this part. Uh-huh. How do you guys feel about this day? Choosing Women Wednesday. So are women gonna be able to go, I mean, go inside or get inside for free and all of these things? But let me see what else is there about this. While the day main agenda is to support female entrepreneurship and women-owned businesses, it also has a broad goal of uplifting from people from poverty and bringing the gender gap in a real area. It is more than just a celebration. It is also a movement about the fight to endure women receive the spotlight and support that they deserve. Okay. Um, okay. That part is kind of like inflammatory. Deserve. Whenever you put deserve in something, meaning that it's supposed to happen, it's not happening. It's something that needs to be worked on, or I would say work for. So I don't know if you guys feel this way. If anybody feel this way, you can say that, you can put it in the chat. Are women not getting the spotlight and the support that they say deserve? For me, whenever someone say put deserve in any thought, in any there are some things that you deserve, but there are other things you gotta work for. It's like deserving. It's kind of like pushy. It's kind of like bossy, or it's kind of like can put you in a position where you feel that things should happen, then rather you make it happen. It's like put you in a passive situation. This is what and at least in this sentence, or there are certain things that you deserve. You deserve to choose what you want to do with your life, or deserve to choose whether you're gonna be at home or wherever. But deserve to get spotlight and support. That's a far reach, because you can get support, you can, but it's not something that you deserve to get. It's something that you work for. To get a spotlight, you work for that. But anyway, this fight is based on the fact that women are still not treated the same as their male counterpart when it comes to the compensation of opportunities in the workspace. Is that true though? I don't know. Like, at this point, isn't the future is women at this point? So aren't women getting put in the front line of so many things to get let me see, and in the front line of opportunities. Let's say if I would be put, it depends on the thing, but if I would be have to be chosen, let's say the competition would be between me and a woman for a position, they'll choose the woman before me. So for the opportunity, um and it's easier, to be honest. I don't know what, because when they have to, what I find about these articles a lot of the time, they have to specify, because when they make it like very so much broad, so it's like about everything, then you have to be specific about what you mean. Because when you don't know what is the specific situation to it, then you can bring any argument to it, and you can argument for it or argument against it. But at the same time, we don't know what you are fighting for. You're fighting for everything at once. Is that what the thing is? Is that the situation? We can do anything. We can have anything and work for it. We don't need to have everything. Yeah, true. I I agree with that. I agree with that. This last part, I find they need to make it more specific, because it's so broad. Because it says this fight is based on the fact that women are still not treated the same as their male counterparts, but treated the same when it comes to compensation and opportunities in the workforce. What do they mean? For her looks, for her looks. So you think that she's the woman is getting the position because of her looks? Is that what it is? Is that what you mean? What else? Most companies now do that. Really? They, I find most companies do that, but is it for her looks though, or is it because they want to be gender neutral? You know, they have like these things. They probably a lot of the time they put some women, they choose from women. Sometimes maybe I don't know if it's for her looks, but for you, I understand this is what you experience, especially in the US. But that's what you said, especially in the US. Yeah, it could be. I mean, let's be honest. I think when even for the looks thing, I think when it comes to looks, there's preferences. What I mean by that, men will choose women to be a good looking woman to be in such position. Also, women will choose a good looking woman man to be in a position, or vice versa. Good, you know, there's do you guys believe and there's such thing of pretty privilege or handsome privilege? Like meaning that people who are handsome or pretty or beautiful gets can be living life on easy mode. Do you guys believe that? Or don't you guys ever think about that? Um, and is that fair or unfair? Looks can get more. Yeah, it can get more, but not always though, because nowadays, it can. It depends. It depends how the person is using it. That's one thing. True. That's one thing. But what really let's say looks get more. The people, let's say, is what gets more is skills, or not really skills to be at this point is because when you look at the people who are really have the most in this world, is it because they have the most skills? No. Is it because they have the best looks? No. It's I mean, looks get you in the door, but it's you know, you have to know how to use it first of all. But I think it's a lot of it has to do with connection, but with what the dominant society actually want, or the leading society, I would say, would it really want. Because there can be people who are more smarter than way more smarter than Elon Musk. It doesn't mean that he's the smartest. Look at TikTok. You are one of a kind. Two men who has the looks, brains, and interesting topic. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, but then the app wanna mess around with my views. The app is just messing around. I don't know if it's because it's December, the end of the month, but it's yeah, I think everybody's views are just down. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, one of a kind. Yeah, well, it has to be one of us, right? I'm gonna be that one. So research, guys, speak your mind, okay? Just like speak your mind. Um, Research has shown that the average female entrepreneurship gets less than half of the funding of her male counterpart. That you see, that part is wrong. That shouldn't be the case. Um, that shouldn't be the case. But you know, one thing is for sure. I'm reading this. They say research. For me, I like to get, you know, I like to get to the big part. I want to see things globally, and that in terms of what they say, this is the big general statement. But I also like to get to the small parts, to the fine details. Hey, bro. So when they say this, I would like to see what research they are not really referring to a research. I would like to be able to see what research they are searching at, or what research they did the search to actually bring out this finding, because I would like to see in what area these female entrepreneurship are in, and also what areas these male entrepreneurship are in as well. Most TikTokers are handsome or beautiful, but the brains are gone. Really? Yeah, that's let me see. Well, that's Yeah, but that's the thing though. I see a lot of the time. That's how it is. It's I was watching some guy. He was it's just a video. He was saying that if basically if my platform, if I was doing funny things, silly jokes, or talking about you know worthless things, then there will be hundreds of people in here. But since I'm talking about something that is relevant, it's not. Yeah, they're not pushing it. But that makes you think that okay, what is then? It's more we are more inclined to watch things that are just this for the distraction than rather learning for things or looking for things that gonna improve our lives. Or maybe it's just the platform that is like this. One of the two. But I would definitely say it's the platform that is like this. You are realistic. Most people most don't find that interesting. You are realistic. Yes, for me, thank you for realizing. For me, I'm very, very realistic. I'm not gonna try to tell you things that gonna fool your head with smoke or fool your head with air, and then when you get in the real world, and then you get overwhelmed, you get panic, you get depressed because your perception of what you have about the world is not connecting to the reality of the world. It's always good to live according to reality because once you see it, then you know how to carry yourself, and also you'll always be calm. You'll always be, in control of your emotions rather than reacting. Yeah. Okay. So this other part is says this is why it is important to encourage movement like these to get people involved in listening to, supporting, and standing up for women from all walk of life for betterment of everyone. Okay, I agree with that. I shop, to be honest. I shop in a lot of when did I do that? Almost every week I support a woman's entrepreneurial business. So yeah, it is not just time to close the gap, the gender gap, but it's also time to shatter the glass ceiling and tell people everything that the age of favoring men is over. So now we need to favor a woman. For me, to be honest, I don't like that part, because one, I find we should all strive in our own lanes. When we are trying to converge in this, that's like creating just a conflict because there's enough for all of us to go around. But why do we have to come? Why don't we just stay in our own lane? But I mean, favoritism is always going to be the case, to be honest, because there will be some jobs that you would favor a man to do, there will be some job that you will favor a woman to do. It's just the simple fact of life. I mean, if you expect men to do all types of job or women to do all types of job, then where's our distinction? We are more inclined to certain things. Just like, I mean, at the end of the day, we are two different beings. That's why they say men are from Mars, women are from Venus. That's not, yeah, it's that part when they try to choose this over that. I'm like, I'll choose both. I like that's the thing. It's time because at the end of the day, we both live in this world. So are we gonna be just creating conflict and just trying to one up another and all of that? It's just gonna be, yeah, it's silly. It's just silly. I hope soon everyone will realize that this would be nothing without women. It's a equality life. Yeah, it is true. That's the thing. One difference is that we have women don't. We need each other. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the bottom line. We need each other. That is the bottom line. Because there will be some things I would never go to a man for. Yeah. There will be some things, some services I would never expect. When I would think of certain services, I would never think of a man. I would always think of a woman. So do I favor women in some areas? Yes. Do I favor men in some areas? Also, yes. Then so my favoritism is according to what I want to accomplish, to be honest. That's what it is. What do you want to what is the goal? Then you know who do you want to choose for the job or for the service, like being in a midwife, but more men are starting to do it. Yeah. So what would you prefer? A mid of as a midwife? Would you wouldn't okay, more men are starting to be midwife. I mean, how do you feel about that? What are you I'm not saying just because you can doesn't mean that you should. You know what I mean? Just like what you said earlier. Let me see. There was a comment here earlier, and you said we can do everything. We can do anything. We can have anything, but by working for it, we don't need to have everything. That's the same thing. Just because we can do it doesn't mean that we should. But if this is what they do, then fine. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, for me, I have no problem with that. But I'm just like, what would women prefer? Or, me, I prefer exactly. It's a preference. What when it comes to midwife, what would women prefer? Because at the end of the day, you should have a choice to choose, right? That's the most important thing. So you said me, I prefer a woman because I feel more comfortable with. I feel more uncomfortable with a male midwife. Yeah, for a midwife, that's what I mean. There are certain services, there are certain things that you'll prefer a man. There are other situations that you'll prefer a woman. That's not saying that one is better than the next. It's just like, you know, or maybe it is saying one is better than the next or feel more comfortable. You can say that one is better than the next because one is better than the next, meaning that it can make you feel more comfortable, more safe, or more like, for whatever the reason might be. And that's okay. But people trying to make things, oh, you choose this, then that means you dislike that. It's like if you like this or you choose this, that means you dislike that. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be a bowl of soup. Doesn't mean that everything, just because even a bowl of soup, even though the water, the liquid part of the soup is liquid, but you might have this, an ingredients here. You might have the carrots here and the potatoes all over here in the same bowl, even though they're probably touching in some ways with the soup, but still they have a distinction as they have to put fingers somewhere. Yeah, that's what I mean. Because midwife have to put fingers somewhere, and thinking a guy as a midwife, you'd be like, you won't feel comfortable. You'll be overthinking things. Rather, you'll know a woman knows a woman's body, and it's just natural. It's like without a thought. So if you just look at the reality, women's brain grow adults sooner. Men's take longer to get to be adults. Yeah. True. Um. Yeah. Women's body can develop actually sooner. Yeah. You know what I mean, right? We are a step further in our growth. Mature made it like nature made it like that. The body maybe. I think it's more the body part. The body part. But also in terms of socially as well. For some women they can socially be yeah, so socially they can also be more how you call it, advanced socially. They have more social skills than men because the moment that a woman turns hits puberty, she start to get men's attention, so whether her age or even older, so she get more access, so most men when they are 25 they are in 20s in their head. Yeah, well, hmm, could be, but okay, what do you mean in terms of what exactly, in terms of what? Yeah, I can look it up, but in terms of what? They are, yeah, because again, we have to also understand, when we search for something, we also have to think it through as well. Um, so okay, in that case then, is that the reason why? Because when you say in terms of growing maturity, okay, okay, I understand. Um, when you say most men when they are 25, they are there are 20 in their head. So does that mean, I'm gonna ask a question. Does that mean a 25-year-old man should get with a 20-year-old woman? Or, is that the reason why there's always an age gap? So the men have to be way older than the woman to catch up or to equalize the maturity level? I have learned this when I was studying. Okay. It's time to look beyond the patriarchy and choose women. Okay, so basically, it's time to look beyond. Okay, that part again. If there's a patriarchy, probably there is. Um, it's a different. It's a when you think of. Okay, let me ask you guys this: when you think of a patriarchy, what face comes to mind? Whose face come to mind when you think about a patriarchy? What would be the description that you think about instead of just saying men? I mean, not men are patriarchal, not all men, but what comes to your mind instead of trying to put every man in the same category, because that would be like, yeah. But let me hear what you guys have to say. Um. Okay, choosing women Wednesday timeline. Should I really go into the timeline? Okay, the first female owner owned business. Okay. Oh, the question. What was the question? The question is, everybody, excuse me. When you think of patriarchy, what face of a man comes to mind? Or what comes to your mind when you think of a patriarchy? Don't just say men, because it's like putting all men in the same boat. But because they are different section of men. They are different. Not all men are the same. That's the bottom line. When you think of patriarchy, what would you say? What comes to your mind? Let me see. Choose, okay, the timeline history. Okay, let me just show the timeline quickly on my screen here. Let me just put it right here. See the timeline. The timeline. So, when you think of patriarchy, what comes to your mind? What do you see in your mind? Or what do you think about? Okay, the choosing women timeline. This is a timeline. Okay. Women operated businesses in the 18th, 19th centuries. Um, pay what? Triaki? What do you mean? I don't understand. I don't understand what you mean. Oh, patriarch. Oh, no, no, no. I'm gonna write in this. Okay. You didn't understand. Okay, let me. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna write it down in the chat. I'm gonna write the word down in the chat. Uh, mm, 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 mm. Okay. Patriarchy. I just write it down in the chat. Take a look. Do you see it? Okay, so we are here. Female entrepreneurs, 1900s, the rise of feminism leads to female entrepreneurship becoming more acceptable. Uh-huh. In 1919, the first female multimillionaire, Madame C.J. Walker, becomes the first female millionaire by selling homemade care products to Black women. Okay, 1919. So the first female millionaire was a Black woman. So they say. So they say. But I mean that's a good thing. Okay, let's move on to this. Let's see. Why choose why choose women Wednesday timeline? Oh, I already went through that. So okay, so when you think of patriarchy, you think not equal. Okay. All right. That's one. What else do you think about when you think of patriarchy? Um, okay, what is the percentage of female entrepreneurs versus male entrepreneurs? 47% of women start businesses in the recent years compared to 44% of men. Huh? So wait. So 47% of women start businesses. So there's no compare. Do you guys hear this? Discrimination. Okay, that's what you think about when you think of patriarchy. The discrimination. It says here 47% women started a business in recent years compared to 44% of men. Then that's the unequal part because this apparently there are more women starting businesses than men. So that's the unequal part. So there's a disparity. A lot of women are busy. Yeah. Yeah, okay. But in that case, it seems like there's more of a matriarchy than patriarchy. Patriarchy mean okay, men lead, but it seems like women is according to this number here. Again, I would like to see the numbers where they come from, businesswomen. But according to this number, 47%, as I can see, is showing that women are leading and starting their own businesses. That's what it's showing. But by any means, you go, girls. Whose father? Businesswoman. So that's not really a patriarchy, isn't it? Women entrepreneurship statistics show that the 252 million entrepreneurs out of approximately 582 millions in the world are females. Right? No to what? What do you mean? Women entrepreneurs statistics show that 252 million entrepreneurs out of approximately. Okay. Okay, so basically it's saying that out of 582 millions of entrepreneurs worldwide, from that 582 million, 252 millions are women. Awesome. Awesome. That is good. That is good. So let's see. How many female entrepreneurs are we don't need to know that. It's are in the US. How many female entrepreneurs are there in the US? Currently there are more than 12.3 million female entrepreneurs in the US. Okay, let me see. How many female entrepreneurs are in the Netherlands? Let's find out. Female entrepreneurs in the Netherlands. Oh, more than 700,000 female entrepreneurs in the Netherlands. Whoa, okay. It represents between 36 to 38% of all entrepreneurs. The number has grown significantly over 60% in the past decade. Okay, all right. So total numbers of entrepreneurs in the Netherlands that are female are over 700,000. That is cool. 36 to, well, here is more of a, this is where the patriarchy is actually is in this country, because 36 to 38% in the Netherlands are women. Anybody, do you want me to check another country? Put it in the chat. Okay. So how to choose women entrepreneur Wednesday. Shop, how to observe or what to do about women entrepreneur Wednesday. What to do about it? What can you do? Shop at a woman-owned businesses. So visit a store, restaurant, or website owned by women and make conscious shopping choices there are several women-owned businesses is in nearly every field working hard to make it big. Support women. Women own businesses by shopping there and recommending them to a friend and family. Every new customers help raise awareness, which is what I'm doing right now. Share information about Choose Women Wednesday and female entrepreneurship on your social media, which what I'm doing right now. So there are so many. I know there are so many things that I could have been talking about. I'm talking about this. So educate yourself exactly, and others so we can live in a more egalitarian society. I don't think that's gonna be, that's a goal to have, but egalitarian, I don't think it's gonna happen. But again, we can always have a goal to strive for. Um, so since the COVID, a lot of women start their own thing here. Yeah, true. Mhm. Mm. That is true because I see a lot of women. It went up 60% in the past 10 years. The number of female entrepreneurs has increased by over 60% in the last 10 years in the Netherlands. Awesome, awesome. Okay, okay. Um. Oh, I gotta ask you guys. There's also take your daughter to work day. Have you guys ever take your daughter out to work day? Um, as why choose women when it's support? Okay, I think that's practically it for choose women Wednesday. Uh, interesting, interesting. What do you guys have to say about this? It was for me. I find it interesting, to be honest. I find the only thing I would say, I find that just they need to try to focus on have some focus. Um, although because that would be a lot of the things they speak was so global, it was so undermining. But yeah, the patriarchy it exists in some countries, but not all. My dad took me to his work for that when I was younger. Yeah, your dad did took you to work. Okay, that's cool. Your dad took you to his work too. That's cool. Did you like? Did you enjoy? Do you remember it? Oh, let me. I'm gonna check in the UK. How many female entrepreneurs are there in the UK? Okay, in the UK it says 1.6 million female entrepreneurs. Whoa, you guys are more than the Netherlands. With number yeah, it was cool. Good, good. Let me see. Okay, the number of female-led businesses in the UK in 2014, women-led 20% for active UK companies, which is up to 16. What? Okay, 20%. I'm trying to find the overall percentage of okay, the number of female-owned businesses has increased by 76% since 2003. Okay, so basically, like I said, the future is female when it comes to business ownership. And one thing is for sure, it says here that women are more prone to start their own businesses than men do. Sheesh. Are we gonna experience a reversal of roles? Are they gonna be is our in the near, I mean, maybe not in the near future, but in the far distant future, are we gonna see an article like this saying choose men Wednesday? It's gonna say that society still think men's place is at home. I don't know if you guys understand what I mean, but yeah, like a role reversal. Um, yeah, but pretty much there's a big increase or jump in women-owned businesses. It's and the UK also, and everywhere, to be honest. Okay.